So the thing about marketing and the thing about networking especially is that we go to a chamber event and we arrive at a chamber event and we say, hi, Susan, Michelle, nice to meet you. We create this one-to-one relationship. We do this in a one-to-one model, right? So you have to spend a lot of time going to chamber events and shaking people's hand, making contact with people, establishing rapport. What happens when you come home? Does anybody have a drawer full of business cards? So did I. The problem is that you make all these relationships on a one-to-one level, but sometimes people are a good prospect, they're a good potential client. Sometimes people are not such a good prospect, but you kind of feel like you want to stay in touch with them, right? You don't want to lose that energy that you spent getting to know them. So the idea is that if you can bring together these two models, this one-to-one model where you meet people on a one-to-one level, but if you can also somehow learn to manage this group of people, you'll be so much more successful because you'll have a much wider audience to choose from. Who thinks if they had a wider audience of people interested in them, interested in their product, that they would be able to sell more? All right, great, absolutely. So the idea is that what's the benefit of a one-to-one relationship? What's the benefit of a one-to-one relationship?
Intimacy and strength of the initial strength of the relationship.
Absolutely, intimacy. What's the difference between a one-to-one model and a one-to-many model? What does a one-to-many model have that's better than a one-to-one model? Volume. What does a one-to-one model have over a one-to-many model? Interaction. So if you can somehow bring both of them together in one model, that would be really powerful. And this is how you do it. The idea is that if you can deliver valuable information from yourself to this group of people, and you can establish a relationship with a lot of people at once, we'll talk about how you do that later, then what happens is leads will percolate up every once in a while. Just to give you an example, right now, I'm in a room delivering value to 60 people, right? I'm not going to stand here and say, Shannon, call me, I want to do business with you. Roseanne, call me, I want to do business with you. But I know that when you walk out of here, if you got something good out of this, the next time somebody says, oh, we need to do a seminar, we need to do a workshop for this, and you're going to think, oh, there was this woman, Michelle, I walked out of there, I got something out of it. Let me recommend her. You see what I mean? The idea is that if you can reach all these people on a mass level with volume by delivering value, the day that they need you, they'll call you. They'll know where to find you. And we're going to talk about how to do that today. So the leads percolate up, and then what happens? Well, obviously, you've got to deliver value. You've got to be good at what you do. If you're not good, then nobody's going to call you. But once they've become a client, and Lisa will talk about this more in depth, once they become a client, then they become part of your community, and you can keep talking to them. And guess what? Once somebody's a part of your community, they're a lot more likely to buy from you again, as long as you delivered on your promise. So then you have a community, and what happens? This is the beauty of the model. It extends. How? Jump in. Word of mouth. The thing about the internet model, or the thing about the targeting people on a large scale, is that one person tells another person tells another person. It doesn't take that much. In fact, it's really a lot faster and a lot easier than you think to go, quote unquote, viral. Take a look at this. How many people have a list of about maybe 500 people? How about 1,000 people? 2,000? Wow. 5,000? Holy cow. Well, look at this. If you start out with a list of 500 people, let's try this one, and grew at a rate of 2% a week. In other words, you're adding maybe 8 or so people a week. This is doable. Very, very doable. Look at where you end up at the end of 1 year. You've tripled your list, almost. Starting out with 1,000 people and growing at a rate of 2% a week, then you go up to 2,800. And this is where it gets fun. Start with 1,000 and grow at 5% a week, 12,000 by the end of the year. It grows so fast with really small percentage growth. It's amazing. All right, so how do you do it? How do you build your network?